Hey, what's going on there, fellow delinquents? Mischief here, and this is probably going to be the last video that I try and do a comparison with the Beretta APX A1 with another pistol, and I wanted to compare it with a Glock. Should you buy a Glock over buying the APX? Well, what are the pros and cons? Well, the biggest pro that the Glock has is the aftermarket support. It also, in my opinion, has a better trigger. So the aftermarket support allows you to pick up new sights, like these, I believe these are 10-8 sights. I don't know who makes them. Probably like, yeah, I'm not sure. But they also have things like this magwell right here. And you can get aftermarket threaded barrels in different height sights. You can get night sights for it. You can get different barrels. You can get entire slides to replace this slide right here. With the APX A1, you get none of that. However, for about $100 cheaper, when you pick this gun out of the box, you actually get 3 15-round magazines. These are just 10-round magazines that I use for training. You get 3 15-round magazines. The Glock, you only get 2. You get a threaded barrel right out of the box. Glock does not have a threaded barrel. You have to buy that separately for about $200. You get suppressor high sights right out of the box. These ones are about $120. So it can be up to like $100, $120, $150 for suppressor height sights, depending on what you get. This one has removable chassis, so if you damage this frame, you can just buy a new frame and just slap it in there. This one, if you damage the frame, well, you're going to have to repair the frame, or you're going to have to get a whole entire new gun. This one right here, yeah, a lot of the features like the extended magazine release and the back straps, well, this one has back straps as well. But this one, actually, the factory gives you extended release, extended slide stop. The Glock can get an extended slide stop, but the magazine release, they don't really have any extensions for that. But in my personal opinion, I think the Glock mag release is perfect size anyway. This one, I slapped the extended mag release on there just in case. The other thing is the APX is still kind of going through some growing pains where the manufacturer understands there's some things that there's complaints about it, like with the trigger. With that trigger, this one smoothed out a little bit, but with that trigger, a lot of people complained about it. So Beretta actually offers a different striker and striker pin, actually what I should say, a striker plunger and spring that actually hits the primer, and that spring makes it so that the trigger pull is a little bit lighter. So, okay. But out of the box, you get the threaded barrel, suppressor height sights, and you get a movable chassis. Great. The Glock, you don't get any of that. But you do get a lot of aftermarket support. This pistol is also a little bit more expensive over the APX. Now, there's a couple of things that I'm going to say probably just go with the Glock. Reason number one, what's one of the most important things about getting a pistol? Probably a holster. So with the APX, I went on to, I searched around and was able to find just a handful of holsters for the APX. Beretta offers them, but a lot of them is for just the standard APX, not the threaded barrel version. So if you do have a threaded barrel, you got to make sure that it's opened on the bottom. This is an APX A1 holster that I was able to find for like IDPA for like $40, and it works. It works. And it comes for $40. You also get the clip-on for your belt, so that's great. For the Glock, there's so many holsters, and a lot of people make holsters for like police, military, law enforcement, yeah. And a lot of people, they like the options of having something that's more duty ready for them to use for duty purposes, for military purposes. If you're planning on going out in the woods, you can get a much better quality holster that retains your pistol very well. For this, I mean, this is basically all I could find. That was it. So if I wanted to run this in competition, I could. Another big thing is flashlights. This is a Surefire flashlight. This is actually a knockoff that I bought for like $20-30 on eBay. I wanted a knockoff because I wanted to use it for holster work. And so anyway, this one right here clips on just like that. It's on there. It's nice and snug. It's not coming off. And this allows you to fit it. Let me grab mine as a holster. So here's an old Gen 1 Filster floodlight for the X300, and it allows you to run basically any pistol that can accept the X300 flashlights. So I was thinking about running this holster for both pistols. Now, I kind of ran into one little problem, though. For the APX, I go to slide this this light on, and that's where it stops. The APX A1 Compact Tactical cannot accept the Surefire X300 flashlight. That's as far as it goes. So if it can't accept probably the one flashlight I have more copies of than any other flashlight, this pistol right here, as far as running a flashlight's concerned, if I want to use it for like home defense or something, this pistol is an automatic out for me. I wanted to run the same holster with these two guns just to try and get a better comparison, but that's not going to happen. I'm going to have to run this crappy $40 holster right here, and we're going to see how that works. And for the Glock, we're going to go ahead and run this Filster holster, because I don't have any other holsters, any outside the waistband holsters for Glocks right now that's set up to do this, so I'm just going to run this. Anyway, I was also inspecting these magazines, and on this mag right here, you can't really tell, but this mag is already getting some rust. I want to see if I can catch that on camera. Right there. This magazine is already getting rust. It's oxidizing. So these magazines right here, I don't know what's going on with this coating, but it does not like being inside. It's like, I don't know, maybe maybe it's just the humidity or something, but these magazines have been sitting in my bedroom. Whereas Glock mags, they're plastic, they can't rust. So anyway, that's probably a couple of things that might sway your opinion about the APX, but we're going to go ahead and run it on some targets. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get our cold start out of the way. So let's do that first. Got a failure to extract. Hang on. Yep, already I feel like this test is probably going to be a little one-sided. Let's go ahead and do this. So I'm going to do all the APX stuff on the IDP target on the left. I'm going to do all the Glock stuff on the IDP target on the right. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to do a 5-round center mass, trying to keep them on the down zero. Drop one high. I lost my front sight for a second there, so on that last one I just didn't bring my front sight back down on target. Alright, let's go ahead and do that again. Let's take a look. We got 132 for our first shot. Let's see, we have a 31, a 26, 25, 23. Cool. Not bad. Let's go ahead and try that again. Okay. So 238, first shot was a 140. We had a 29, a 25, a 24, and a 20. So the second one, I had tightened up my grip a little bit and started squeezing off those rounds. So the gun doesn't jump very much, which is a really, really big plus. I thought this thing would jump more than it actually would, because this slide feels a little high, but I guess this grip right here actually helps me bear down on a little bit more. So yeah, all right, so we just dropped one high. Now this Glock is going to have a little bit of a disadvantage because of this flashlight, so let's go ahead and see how that works. Yep, just as I thought. I tried speeding up, go a little bit faster. My first shot was a 122, a 27, a 25, a 19, and a 21. So yeah, I definitely did speed up. I dropped two outside the down zero. I got one high and left and one to the right. So I did not establish a good grip on that one. Let's go ahead and try the. Oh, what is going on here? All right, let's try that again. Okay, felt a little bit better. So we dropped 3 in the down 1. So 1, 2, 3. That draw seems about the same. That first shot was a little bit slow because I wanted to pick up my front sight, and I guess my my draw, I'm just not getting a consistent grip. So right there, I'm not getting a very good consistent grip right here. I feel like there's a bit of a gap right here, or I'm gripping a little bit low. So I'm just taking what I can get as far as gripping the pistol is concerned. The trigger is much better on this. However, that grip, getting the first grip right there is probably going to take a little bit more concentration, a little bit more training to get that. All right, we're going to do a reload drill. So I'm going to draw, put 5 down, do a reload, and then put 5 in the head. Actually, you know what? Let's do head first, then body, so that way I can go ahead and speed up right after I do that reload, I immediately reload, and then I can put it on the body and start speeding up. All right, let's go ahead and get this started. Okay. Failed to lock back. Interesting. So, in my personal opinion, guns fail. They will fail, no matter what. So, as you can see, I counted my rounds. I immediately diagnosed the problem that I did not get slide lock, and I immediately went to tap rack. So, but yeah, yeah, we dropped 1 into the the down 1, and we got 4 out of 5 in our head. So let's go ahead and we're gonna get set up for the APX and see how we do. Oh, by the way, that was a 153 for the first shot, a 48, a 43, a 42, a 39, 244 reload. Okay. 25, 23, 21, 22. All right, same drill. 5 to the head, 5 to the chest. The fuck? Okay, we're gonna have to redo that. Even though I started off completely off, way off. It got hung up on some plastic. Alright, let's peel that out. Alright, I'm gonna make some adjustments to this and then hopefully that'll help. So yeah, this little triangle spot right here, that dug into some plastic that was sticking out, and that's what hung up the magazine carrier. And I did the drill wrong too. I just realized that. 5 to the head, 5 to the chest. It happened again. This part right here got hung up. My headshots are not doing much better. The main problem is that these blacked out front and rear sights do not work very well for fast shooting. I am basically holding on for dear life, trying to track this front sight, but all I see is this black peak behind these 2 black peaks, and I got black peaks just bouncing up and down as I'm trying to shoot. And you can see I'm having the same problem with the Glocks. So the APX, the recoil management's decent. It's got better texturing than the Glock on the grip. And the palm swell, the shape of the grip, it feels a lot better. And it really encourages you to get that higher grip, unlike the Glock, where it's just, it really does not emphasize really good, like, high grip. It's kind of easy for your hand to kind of slip a little bit low on the Glock as opposed to the APX, where you're trying to do that initial snatch grab from the holster. So, alright, so there are some pros and cons as far as shooting's concerned. So, let's go ahead and see what else we can do. If you're curious, though, that I was about a second slower because my reload was a 285. Man, that was a slow reload. Okay, so now we're going to start off with the APX first because that's what I still have on my holster. And we're going to go ahead, we're going to see how well each gun does one-handed. So I'm going to shoot 10 rounds one-handed with my right hand. And then on the second drill, I'm going to shoot 10 rounds one-handed with my left hand. So let's just see. All right. All right. Failure to extract. Does not like this ammo, does it? Okay, let's try that again. Okay. Go down here. So we dropped 1, 2, 3 low and low and to the left, and it's that trigger pulling the gun low and left. So anyway, let's go ahead and we're going to shoot left-handed. See if we pull it low and to the right this time. So once again, ambidextrous controls. Okay. 895 for 10 shots. First shot was a 151. 73, 86. Yep. Low and right. However, we only pulled 1 to the left, and we're still experiencing a fairly decent group. So yeah, it is possible. However, that's crunchy. That's really crunchy. So anyway, it's possible to shoot well with this pistol. It does not make it easy. Let's go ahead and see how we do with the Glock. All right, so now we got the Glock ready. Let's go ahead and do this. All right, that felt pretty good. That felt pretty good. I did feel like I was walking off to the left a little bit, which I was. As you can see, that's on the line, so that's a line breaker right there. But I felt like I could manipulate that trigger a lot better for one-handed shooting, and I was shooting really fast. 117 for the first shot, and then we got a 49, a 45, 45, 48, 46, 45, 42, 46, 40. So fairly consistent, and below half a second per each shot. So I would say that that's decent. That's decent. It's difficult to shoot one-handed, but with the Glock, the recoil and that trigger manipulation, I felt a lot more confident with this. Now let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and shoot 10 rounds left-handed. And ambidextrous controls. All right. So, 686. First shot was a 115. 71, a 60, 52, 68, 55. All right. So, yeah, I was definitely shooting a lot faster. I did push some rounds outside. So right here, pushing it to the right, low and to the right, left-handed shooting, that's basically what's going to happen when you start picking up some speed. However, I don't think that the spread was as exaggerated as with the APX. The APX was a lot easier for me to start throwing rounds because of that terrible trigger more than with the Glock. With the Glock, I think the reason why I threw some of these rounds is simply because I was shooting way too fast. However, if you look at it, all the rounds are scoreable, at least, for both pistols. Now, it basically depends, like, which pistol do you want to train more with? Which pistol is going to give you more value? That's what we're trying to figure out here. And as far as both pistols are concerned, if you can train with it, you're probably going to do well with it. So what have we learned today? Well, between these two pistols, the APX and the Glock 19, I mean, both pistols shoot, they work, they run. You can definitely get good with both pistols. I'm not proficient with either pistol. I don't really run either pistol, you know, to the extreme. However, there's a couple of reasons why you might want to purchase one over the other. And with the APX, the Beretta APX, the one thing that really has going for it is value. And you're getting a threaded barrel, suppressor height sights, and you're getting a cool chassis. And you might be able to find something like this for a really decent price. And if you need something that's suppressor ready, this is ready to go right out of the box. 3 15-round magazines, optics ready, suppressor ready. It's like, how can you go wrong with that? But shooting wise, it's not my favorite pistol to shoot. It can be done. It can be done. Now with this optics plate, I actually tried 2 different optics and I could not find either one that would mount low enough so that you could co-witness with your iron sights. It just doesn't work. With the Glock, you can find aftermarket support for anything you don't like about this pistol. If you want a threaded barrel, you can get a threaded barrel. If you don't want a threaded barrel, keep the one you got in there. You want higher, if you want taller sights, lower sights, you don't want to go with the MOS, you want to go for a different optics plate, aftermarket support definitely helps you out. You want a magwell, you can get a magwell. You don't want a magwell, don't need a magwell. And so that's the really big thing. Also, this flashlight was a really, really big deal for me. I just couldn't believe that the APX could not fit a Surefire X300, and this one right here, I have at least 4 of these. I have 4 real Surefires. This one right here I bought just for training purposes because I don't want to beat up my real ones. Another thing that kind of disappointed me with the APX was the magazines. So these magazines right here, there's a little bit of oxidation already happening on this finish right here, and I don't know if I like that. I got plenty of other metal magazines, but I have so many of these Glock magazines. And I got 92 magazines, I got PX4 magazines, but these ones right here, I mean, I haven't had them for very long, and they already feel like they're starting to rust a little bit, so we'll see where that goes. Finding holsters for this thing was just a chore. I couldn't really find holsters, and now I can't even run it with a flashlight. So what am I going to do with this thing? I don't really know. Now, would you purchase one over the other? Yes, I would purchase the Glock. The aftermarket support is really good. But if you want my true opinion, I would say purchase neither one. Go to your local gun range, or go to your store, go online, find police trade-in Glocks. I'm serious. Find police trade-in Glocks. You can probably find one for about $350, $400. And then anything that you want to do extra to it, you can use the money that you saved on buying a used Glock, and then just put that money into suppressor sights, mill the slide, get different grips, stipple the grip however you want it, and that would do you a lot better buying a used police trade-in as opposed to going out and then purchasing these pistols brand new. I mean, you're gonna spend $550, $600, $700, $800 for a pistol when you can buy a perfectly good used police trade-in. And the police trade-ins, they really don't shoot their pistols much. They'll wear it on their belt, so they'll get a lot of holster wear, but the pistols will be really, really good condition. They'll probably have maybe about 4,000 or 5,000 rounds through it, and then you can swap out any worn out parts. So, I mean, that would be the best value for your dollar. Go out and look in the used market, look for police trade-ins, pick up something cheap for under like $400, and you're golden. You got a pistol that'll last you a lifetime. Anyway, that's basically all I got for you, so make sure you stay out of trouble. And if you can't stay out of trouble, you didn't learn it from me. Meow.